friends, I'm back. So I'm here to do a fall TBR. I did wind up redoing my TBR card. I had a TBR card that was all for sequels, and the sequel card has never been read from. So I decided to pull all those books off, and I made a seasonal TBR for that card, which I actually like. So here are all of the books that I have put on my September TBR. There's a lot here, but these are the books that I'm putting on this TBR in hopes that I'll read them in a quick fashion. And then at the end of this video, I will tell how many fall themed books are on my TBR. Do I have more? Yeah, of course, but these are the ones that I'm most excited to read. So yeah, let's get into it. The first one that is on my TBR is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is about two characters that live in the same house, but one lives 7 years in the past. And a romance ensues. She also wrote Dead Romantics, which definitely gave me fall vibes. I hope this is the same here. And I love Ashley Poston's writing, so I've been reading her for so long. And Jess from Peace Love Books gave this book 5 stars, and she is hard to please when she's reading traditional romances. So I'm really excited. It also reminds me of the Buffy episode that happened when they couldn't really see her. Again, that was on a romance, but this is. So I'm excited. I'm going to dive into this. Also, another book. Again, I do read romances in the fall, especially like early fall. So I also am going to put The Prince and the Apocalypse on it by Karen McDonald. This is about a girl and a runaway prince that meet in an airport when there's an apocalypse coming. And it's very quick. So I hope I'll get to read it quickly. This I got for the Amazing Readathon and I just didn't get to read it. Also, Grumbones by Jen Bennett is her middle grade debut, but this is just a mystery thriller for the middle grade set. Middle grade books most of the time work for me. I find the characters really endearing and really fun, and I do love Jen Bennett's writing style. I'm not going to go too much into book summaries, to be very honest, but I'm just telling you guys the book that are on this card. The Blonde Identity by Ally Carter is another mystery thriller. And I'm just going to read you guys the back. This is the same woman that wrote The Gallagher Girls, and I really liked all of her other series. I haven't actually read The Gallagher Girls, but the other ones I have read. And this is her adult debut, and it's a hilarious road trip rom-com about a woman with amnesia who discovers she's the identical twin sister of a rogue spy and must team up with a grumpy operative to save a life. And again, another super short book, but I was able to meet Ally Carter at ALA. My friend wanted a book signed, and then I got a book signed, so I do have it. It's very quick, and hope to read it that first week when I'm probably going to be a little bit stumpy. I also have Claws and Contrivances by Stephanie Burgess. This is the second book in the Regency Dragon series. The first book was a Sense and Sensibility retelling. I have no idea what this one is, but it is... Oh, this is the romance between the dragon scholar that we met in book 1, which I loved, and that he was so charming. So I really hope that I like this one, because I thought book 1 was very fun. I gave 5 stars. But yeah, this is, and I don't think the third book is out yet, but these covers are just so adorable. I also have a sequel, The Ravenous Dead by Darcy Coates on here, which is the second book in the Whispering Dead series. And I think that this is when she kind of takes her job as a caretaker and mysteries kind of ensue for there. This book series does give me Medium vibes, so if you are a Medium fan, I recommend you pick this one up, and it's not as scary as her other books. I also have A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Sapp. This is a quest-themed novel, which with also a love story kind of intertwined. Everyone told me to read this during the Amazing Readathon, but I just didn't because it wasn't blue. But now those things are not important, and it is from an author I've never read before. Also, another mystery on here is The Promise of Lost Things by Helen Dunbar. This is a mystery thriller about a medium, a girl who's decided to end goes for good, and a grieving mother, and it's a spiritualist town. This cover was again bought for Aurelium and then just didn't get read. I also have Swordcatcher by Cassie Clare on here, which again, I'm just excited to read her adult debut. I also need to read the final book in the series she's in the middle of, which I will get around to it. I will, it's just not at the moment, but this is a big one that I'm really excited for. And then I'm also in the middle of reading Serpents in the Wing at Night, which is a vampire fantasy romance, which I'm also really enjoying. So those are all the books that are on my TBR for the moment that I hope to read directly soon in September, if not before September. But now let's get to the rest of the cart. That will take me a while. See what the cart looks like, go look on my Instagram when I post this video, because I will kind of attach like a photo. But I'm not going to get into summaries unless like I know something about them, because a lot of these are just books that I have that are like spooky themed or fall themed, and some of them are just romances as well. But the first half of fall is always a bit stressful with me going back to work. So I do put Lore Olympus on here, volume 4. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And I will probably read this one night just to chill. That's kind of what I will do. But I do like these characters. It does deal with harder topics. It does deal with like sexual assault and stuff like that. But I really do like it. And I do like Greek gods and mythology. And oh my god, these pictures are just so pretty. So this will definitely go on the TBR. Flower Heart by Catherine Maxwell. I'm just going to read you guys like the back. A power she can't control, a curse she can't undo, and a boy she can't forget. And this reminds me of Poison Heart series by Kaylin Barron, and it's a short book. I might actually read this today if I finish the book I'm actually reading, but I am going to put it on here because it does have, you know, a haunted forest or a haunted house, so I'm excited for that. Also, 3 Drops of Blood by Gretchen McNeil. This is set in the theater industry. It's about a actress, but she's kind of works at like, she works at a show and she kind of oversees a murder from her boss, and she has to kind of work to kind of like solve it, I think. And I really liked her first one, her first book that she wrote. I haven't read The Murder Attorney's Name, but I have read her first one and really did like it. So anything about drama, I will probably read, like theater. Also, my coworker for my Secret Santa got me Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier, and this is a murder mystery. I think it's more domestic, and I don't think I've ever read a domestic thriller. But someone recommended this. I feel like it was Bookables when I watched her. So I got it. I put it on my Amazon watch list and my friend got it for me. Also, She Is a Haunting by, oh, what is her name? I think it's Trang Tran. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one. This is also one I might read. And this, I think that this is another haunted house book. But this is another book that I could read because I haven't read from this author before. And then Walk the Wild with Me by Rachel Atwood. This is a cozy fantasy book, which I'm really intrigued by. And then just to kind of keep things going, Killer Control by Olivia Black. And this is a cozy mystery set in New York City. So that is one stack. Let me know in the comments if any of these are on your fall TBR. I would love to know. I also got The Enchanted Hacienda by J.C. Cervantes, which I am in love with. This, I think, was a combination between Encanto and like a romance. And yeah, it is very, very quick. Again, it's another quick read with a spooky vibe, so I'm excited for this one as well. I also picked up The London Seance Society by Sarah Perner, and this is one that I'm very excited for. A Strata Parlors of Victorian London, 2 daring women hunt for truth and justice in the perilous act of conjuring the dead, and it's set in 1873. I also do have the second book in the, I don't know, the Bruja series. This follows Lulu, and it's the second book in that series. So I would like to read this because it is witchy. Blood and Honey is also witchy, so I would like to read that. This is the second book in that series, which I should probably get around to reading because her new one is coming out, and I really do want to read that. Also, just a random romance, Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I have a bunch of her books just on my TBR because she started writing adult books as well, and I just haven't read any of them. But Weather Girl seems like it would be good to read in the fall. So I also have another sequel, Bone Crier Dawn by Catherine Purdy. I read her new series, The Forest Grimm, and really, really loved it. So I want to go back and read this series. I feel like I may need to reread book 1 because it's been a bit. But this cover is so pretty. Also, I have A Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have not read any of her adult fantasy romance books, so this is like an easy entry point because it's not connected to anything. But I don't know anything about it. I know it has a runaway prince. That's all I know, so I'm excited. And then I have Masters of Death by Libby Blake, which I think just has a really, really fun concept. It says a vampire is a struggling, like, real estate agent that is trying to sell a haunted house, and a medium, and they're working together to try to get rid of the haunted house, and that just sounds delightful. I don't know how I feel about her, like, dark academia stuff, but this sounds right up my alley. So that is the next stack of books. That was like the first top of my TBR card, so we're just going to go through stacks. And now, let's get to the second stack. So this is probably the craziest stack, and I'm actually going to probably pull some of these books and put them where I could see them easier, but Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winston, and it's her new psychological thriller, so I'm really excited for this one. I have had mixed reports with Ashley Winston. Really did not like her in My Dreams I Hold a Knife, but I did love The Last Housewife, so hopefully I do like this one. I also have another fantasy romance, The Foxglove King by Hannah Wooden, to add to this. This is my Fairy Loot edition that is just stunning. I am going to put this on my TBR card, and hopefully I get to read it like sooner rather than later. I also have Every Other Day by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is her like this is like her sci-fi or her paranormal romance, which I got this on Pango and I have not read it, but I'm intrigued. I'm gonna give her a shot. I really like all of her other books, so I'm gonna give this a shot. I have some witchy themed books which always pop up during this time, and I will be honest, I'll probably get a couple more. This Spell Loves by Kate Robb. This is an arc I got. It says, a woman tries to heal her heartbreak by casting a spell to erase an ex from her past, but she wakes up in an alternative reality where she lost more than she whispered in this witty, whimsical Friends to Lovers debut. So that sounds really cool. Go Hex Yourself by Jessica Clare. I've had this on my TBR for quite a while. I just like the title. What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn. A kind of similar thing. I just like the title. This one I got from Italy. It's Death in August, which is like a murder mystery, and it's set in Florence. So I was just there, so I'm gonna probably try to read this sooner or later. Again, it's really, really short. It's like not even 200 pages, but I do want to read something from like an Italian author. I'm excited for that. Also, Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. This is my Owl Crate edition, which again sounds perfect for fall, so I'm gonna hopefully get to read this. In the Hall with a Knife, which is a clue mystery by Diana Pennifer. Ooh, it got ripped. And this is just a Clue-esque story. I know that Meg put a book at it and liked it. She didn't love it, but I'm excited to read it. And then I also have Secrets Never Die by Vincent Ralph. The ceremony, the tradition, the dark place. One night a year, we bury our secrets. Now they have a life of their own. Ooh. And I've never read a book by Vincent Ralph before, but I'm excited. And then we have a lot more. I also have Broken Web by Lori M. Lee, which is the second book in her series. It might actually be the end of it, so I might actually take this and put this in like a vlog for sequels, but that will be another like necromancer story. And then Rook by William Ritter is a book it's like a companion book to Jacoby, but I really like that book. I just never finished, so I'm gonna read the companion book and see how I like it. Ooh, I also have a Stranger Things Choose Your Own Adventure story, which I am loving. I love Stranger Things. It's one of my favorite shows. So when I saw this at Target, I picked it up. Okay, and then I also have a thriller, The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. I've had mixed things with Jessica Goodman. I want to read Legacies. I like this. I didn't love They Wish They Were Us, but I did love They'll Never Catch Us, so I'll see how I feel about this one, and also her new one. Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sansbury. Sounds right up my alley. This cover is stunning. And then just some more. All of Our Hidden Gifts by Catherine O'Donoghue. And this is the one that has pictures of cards in it. Tarot cards, I think. So I'm excited to dive into this one. And I think this is a series. I'd like to definitely pick up the other ones. Local Women Business by Mary Kubica. I've heard really good things about this book. I don't think her other books are that much popular. But this one sounded up my alley. And, some more thrillers. The Safest Lives by Megan Miranda. I want to read something by Megan Miranda this year, so I'm probably and this is like her mom is like, doesn't leave the house, she's agoraphobic, and then her mom goes missing, so she has to kind of go on an adventure. Tell Me What Really Happened by Chelsea Sidati. I have the audiobook for this, but it's kind of like 3 kids go into the woods and only 4 teens go into the woods and only 3 come back. And it's mostly told through police reports, which I find interesting. Make Me a Liar by Melissa Manders, I think is her thriller debut, which I'm excited for. Again, I don't know much about it. And then Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I really like Jessie Q. Susanto, and I am excited to read a new series by her. So yeah. Again, this is going to be a very, very impressive TBR card. I'll be honest, because it's just a lot of books. But again, I just want them in one place so I'll know. So I'm going to go add these to my bullet journal. So again, I don't forget about it. I really am doing my bullet journal so I have a number of how many books are on this TBR. So I'm going to go do that and then I'll be back with my last shelf. Oh, I'm going to do the last stack and I counted up all the books. I have 60 books on this TBR. So we will see how successful I am at the end of like December, I would say. 7 Faintless Saints by M.K. Loeb. This is a murder mystery thing, which I'm excited for. I got this when I went to Books of Wonder. Also, one of the arcs I have is Wild Blood by Lauren Blackwood. This is kind of a horror novel set in like a forest, I think, which I'm intrigued by. Also, Small Favors by Erin A. Craig is her beekeeping horror novel, I think, or like fantastical story. I'm really excited for this one because I've liked all her other books. The Chateau by Jacqueline Goldis. This is actually a gift from someone who, I don't know who this gave it to me. But it is like a murder mystery set at a mansion, which I'm excited for. Also, Venko is a witchy story, I think. I think it was for $10 at Barnes & Noble, and I saw the cover, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I haven't heard much about it, but the cover sounds interesting. Also, Hotel Magnifique is still on my TBR. I want to read it. I haven't got around to it yet. Also, Live Your Best Lie by Jessie Weaver is another book that's on my TBR. It is like, follows like a social media influencer who gets murdered. I also got Yellowface when I went to Italy, and I want to read this. I do have the audiobook for this one as well, so I might get read that way. The Bone Witch by Rune Shipeko. Again, I want to read all the witchy books. So, also, A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham is another murder mystery that I would love to read. Sun Bearer Travels by Aiden Thomas. I want to read. I've had this for so long. I honestly might just break down and get like a real copy, because this is an ARC I got at like 2 ALAs ago. We will see. Murder, She Wrote is a Murder, She Wrote like middle grade story. The Only Purple House in Town is a is like a witchy novel, which I have liked other books by Anne Aguirre, and this house gives me charmed vibes. And also another Italian find is The Midford Murders by Jessica Fellows. It kind of gives me T.E. Kinsey vibes. And another author I'm going to give another shot to is None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney. I've heard mixed things, but like Amy Kaufman talks about this author so much. So yeah, those are the books on my fall TBR. There's 60. Will I read 60? I have no idea. But my goal is to like change out my TBR cart in probably the first shelf for like Christmassy romances. So I'll do that in like November. And then in like January, I'll reset it. But yeah, those are all the books. I think I have enough range and volume of like types of books I'm going to read. But yeah, let me know what are some books in your fall TBR. I would love to know. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.